Well, welcome back. We're watching some more Symphogear and seeing the bright light light up the sky and knowing that several of the characters have been kidnapped and absconded away. Definitely an interesting time for the moment. What could possibly go wrong? Seeing Tsubasa be mentally assaulted, having her will stripped away from her, a seal placed upon her, and exactly the extent of that or what it's going to be used for is still unknown to me, but should be for an interesting few episodes to come up. I think the biggest question is, how long is it going to be before we see these antagonists second guess the actions that they're doing? Or until any of them are in actual full danger. And yet, seeing that she was kidnapped for this purpose, got a whole bunch of mannequins in the lot, not ready for an army. I am interested to see where this plan goes. It's such a useful skill being able to just mind control someone, even if they have to be in a slightly weakened state. I mean, anyone that goes to Kent, you know, is not going to end well. Well, that was easy. So I mean, as long as you don't delve too deep, do they know? I was about to say, do they know her history? But now having Carol be that safeguard, like, the hell do you think you're doing with my body? I may have lent it out, but it's not yours to use. What is this weird phonics going on? Of course, Miku had to be nearby. Perfect place for anyone to suddenly just start absorbing all of that energy. I don't see an easy way out of this. If they can control Elf Knight, even with Carol's defense, activating that machinery there, is it, as was I stated before, to create some sort of army? Is it backup bodies for them should anything untoward happen? I mean, we've had a fair share of automatons and crap. What were they called? The alchemist puppet things. The autoscorers. Is that what it was? We've seen loads of them in the past, so having a whole bunch of them now. What could possibly go wrong with that? How many groups and antagonists have actually used things like that? Like Tiki being a big one that was recent. And now that her gaze has been averted, not paying attention. Can she Good. Just jamming the barrel. I mean, she can get replacement fingers and hands, so yeah, what's the issue? I want to know how they recorded that sound, because it's somewhat underwater and resonates with itself. And if this was... Good thing everything in the nearby vicinity was already rubble. Good thing that was only a glancing blow. I mean, they might be fine, but do you really want to be losing pilots? I can't state enough. I like this music. Any fast guitar one is always going to be likely a thumbs up from me. And it is... I don't think I mentioned it, but it is amusing that so many of her special attacks and the transformation sequence have the Halloween, like, pumpkin skeleton cackle in the background. Are we going to see any new moves being brought on by them? I mean, it's her song. Did you really think she'd let her just be hit by that thing? She's got the limelight at the minute. They've opened the way for you. Don't waste it. But I don't know what I think of this tentacled Gorgon egg looking bitch. But yeah, if the ancient peoples and whatnot had shit like this and powers to rival the gods and all this shit, how did they manage to actually keep them under control? Because people now can't beat... yeah, of course, still got the constant revive mechanic. Tougher than it seems. Leave that one for her, apparently. I mean, they like to take their eyes away from the battle at hand, don't they? I mean, even if... I was going to say, even if they can't destroy it, the attack and it gets revived, it can still land a slice or two to give a second where she can wriggle out. Yeah, but now it's just a bout of attrition with something that they can't defeat against, because Space Baby here only lost, what, one tentacle thing? And even then it wasn't permanent injury. And Hibiki's out of the fight. Huh. So that is only a fraction of the power that was drawn in. It wasn't fully formed after all. Are they going to notice her damage, battle damage there? Physically or mentally? Because, well, she's suffered several wounds in the past. Okay. I mean, we know how much she was attached to that lot. I say that lot. Seems odd for her to bring it up right there. Okay. And did they uncover anything with it? What is this, fucking Windows XP? And it has a long history. To, throughout history, written language is the way that we can take things from the past, but oral tradition was long before that. I wonder how much has actually survived in our world by being passed down through song. Even if we can't trace the origins of it. Just, hold out hopes that everything is okay over there. And with Elf 9, no longer fully in control? We've already seen Miku be a threat to be reckoned with, and them standing up, fighting her, but also saving her. The fact that the background of the Ferris wheel just kind of faded out right there was kind of nice. Nothing matters further than the conversation between the two of them. So now that she's activated the machine no longer of need, I don't like the fact she has this oscillating drill hand. Tuck and roll. I mean, you gotta try and make it right somehow. It's not something that she can give away so easily. Also, isn't there some, at least little kinship between them, considering, they both lost their actual forms and whatnot? I know I mentioned it earlier, but where the Where the fuck have they been hiding? I thought they were all destroyed. So by activating this machine, it was their own downfall. They're all back. It was their own downfall. Maybe if you don't shout, it would be, well, can't really be more effective than that. I mean, they bear a few battle wounds. And what, the others there don't have... Does that mean Tiki might come back if she was strapped up to that as well? But also, yeah. What was I about to say? The others that were all in it don't have any personalities and stuff. Good to see the JoJo gang is back and running, though. Rescue Miku. Inform everyone of what's going on. Did they need to be front and center? Standing guard? Or just being, a threatening pose? Now they have confirmation. It's not just hope. But, I mean, it's not just her. Got a few friends. Yeah. A inside agent in the midst of the enemy there. A very useful asset. So now it's actually just a battle of attrition, see not to get worn out before help arrives. But now knowing that information has been leaked out, they're going to worry. I forgot the music box notes when she moves. Yeah, don't hold them back at all. Get out while you can. And how was the original 4, which they took on, admittedly, a weakened or weaker version of the Symphogears, going to fare right now? I would have laughed so hard if there was elevator music just cropped up. Maybe there's a few calibrations or whatnot still needed. I mean, there was only 2 of them. I mean, if you only defend... I was about to say, good thing it stopped on a floor they can actually get out, but it was like that. But right now they're preoccupied. Knows the drawbacks and flaws of their own self. But the fact we got those 4 auto-scorers back, which I didn't remember any of their names. And now, what, already having to part ways and whatnot? Or because they're mechanized beings, don't have to worry too much. They died once before, after all. At least it's very easy to track them. Just follow the path. Ooh. I was about to say they were bent and twisted, but nothing seems too broken. Then I just saw the arm snapped off. Threw it to safety, and then just, I'm coming back. It's fine. Can she feel the void that Carol took there? I mean, that time that they allocated for her. Is there going to be an ex machina from outside, or Elf9 herself standing up? Or not? Is this more, help from within? Oh, I can't stand by and watch this happen any longer, kind of thing. Ooh. If but for a moment, those crystals. That was a nice touch. Pity that they all couldn't be present to witness it. Ah. There's the resolute Carol that we saw in previous seasons. Who would have thought they would just constantly have past characters reborn anew? Who else is going to be brought back? We'd already had Dr. Ver, or whatever his fucking name was. Even if it was in memory form. Carol, the auto-scorers, Saint Germain and whatnot. Is it going to be a veritable who's who of people that we used to know? I like the sudden burst of self-realization, having Carol take over the body again, bring herself out in this powered state and fight back. Couldn't have done it to save the others before they were reduced back to scrap material? I do like this music, though. As far as Symphogear episodes go, this one kind of did, bring out a few things I wasn't expecting. Having the auto-scorers come back was like, oh, that's awesome. Having Carol block out any kind of mental alteration was nice to see. Don't know why I didn't then think that she would also be that saviour of the moment, to be like, alright, You obviously can't handle it yourself. I'll deal with it. But this show is a collection of stories and whatnot, and people gathering together to leave their impact and mark on those that are left behind. You know, take their memory down, carry on the memory with them, kind of thing. So can't go being left in the past and forgotten about. Obviously, having Hibiki taken out of action so she can't be the Godslayer fist, all that bullshit, makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to just have that on the back saying, oh, Hibiki can deal with it, it's fine. But it does make the rest of them seem a little superfluous. If Hibiki's the only one that can destroy those deity creatures, as soon as she is slightly in danger, oh, got to pull out now. Not gonna share any power-ups or anything with the others. Gonna find a way to remove their curse as well. I mean, it does detract from the fact that Hibiki and Miku are the only two that can really do it, but still, it does make the rest of the gear users not stand out quite as much, not be quite as meaningful in the long run. But fairly decent music. Some I think I've heard most of it before. But if Elf9 can stand up for herself and fight back, does that mean we might get a Miku reappearance? I don't want her in full gear setup again. I also don't want her to be absorbed into some godly power. I need to be rescued from that, like what we saw with Hibiki and just before the nuke and all of that. But yeah, I will say that my mind has been thrown into disarray. Now I kind of had an idea where things might go, but now seeing the auto scores just appear and Carol now back on the scene, it's like, okay, anything really is a go-to. Anyone that you helped or talked to in the past. But considering the efforts that they had to go through in order to take down Carol in that alchemy gear state, might not be quite so easy for these three. I do want to see them beaten back a bit. And how many spare hands does she have? Just has a warehouse full of replacement limb parts for any occasion. Just gonna have to find out. So if you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. If I've entertained you, leave a like down below. Comment as well as anything I've missed, need to know, got wrong. That's a big one. But if you want to make sure not to miss out future episodes, consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help me out. If you want to also tell your friends and family, well, maybe not your family, they look down on you so much. Spread the word. Jump onto my Discord for any votes that are going on. Future uploads, memes and comments and all that good stuff. But most importantly, most of all, make sure you take care of yourselves and get some rest. So I can see you in the next one. If you want to join my ever-increasing army of autoscorer mannequins, consider joining onto my Patreon. Help the channel grow and sustain itself long enough that I can take over the world. Or just watch more anime. So, I need to send my thanks to Sal, AGSTR, Darky26, Guado, Kite, Reds Racer, Ultra Pouring, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else. For if it wasn't for all of you, things would be a lot more dire.